I want to officially welcome you to this wonderful seminar conference organized by the Think Christ movement. Think Christ movement is an empowerment movement that's focused on empowering people to achieve success through the principles of Christ. Our goal is to help awaken the greatness within each individual and to help people live in an effective, sustainable, and result-oriented life with a Christ-like mentality. Think Christ movement stands for possibilities and greatness. It's our belief that every soul on earth has the potential to be great and to live a purposeful life if they get access to the right information and knowledge on how things work. The founder of Think Christ movement is Pastor Francis K. Dogbachi. Can we give it up for him? This is the second edition of this conference, and we can testify that it is doing amazing things in the lives of our participants. Mr. Francis is the host of the Mentorship, Entrepreneurship, and Networking Conference. As a director and partner at Gentleak Flight Support, he seamlessly merges his business acumen with his passion for youth empowerment and entrepreneurship, believing fervently in the innate greatness within each individual. Mr. Dogbachi champions the idea that everyone possesses the potential for success. His diverse roles as a public speaker, empowerment coach, entrepreneur, certified flight dispatcher, and philanthropist reflect his multi-phased approach to uplifting others. Through monthly mentorship classes, Mr. Dogbachi actively empowers and guides ambitious youth along the path to success. His unwavering commitment to unlocking the potential within each individual underscores his tireless efforts in making a meaningful difference in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the host and the founder of Think Christ movement, Mr. Francis K. Dogbachi.
Thank you very much. Please, we can have a seat. I want to welcome everybody once again, our distinguished guests and participants of this year's Mentorship, Entrepreneurship, and Networking Conference. I'm truly honored and delighted to welcome you all to this event. As we gather here today, we are embarking on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and empowerment. This conference is not just another event, but a platform for us to come together, learn from the experience of great minds doing great things in our society, in order to empower ourselves and create positive change in our lives and communities. Mentorship, entrepreneurship, and networking are three critical components that play a significant role in our lives as individuals and help us achieve our goals. I think it's our belief that when we have access to the right mentors, build relationships with experienced entrepreneurs, and build a strong network, we get access to valuable resources, insights, and opportunities that can help us become who we desire to be. As a young graduate myself years back, I had the privilege to be part of a seminar. And at that seminar, there was a colleague of mine that was hosting it, and he was talking about unlocking your greatness. At the end of the seminar, he asked each and every one of us to read a book. And the title of that book was The Richest Man in Babylon. So that evening when I went home, I took the book. He sent out a PDF version of it, read it, and after reading it, took keynotes. And all the things that the speakers at the seminar shared with us, I reflected upon it. And that was the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey. And I always say that seminar played a key role in shaping me to become who I am today. So we gathered here is a way of giving back to society. If a seminar was of benefit to me and helped shape me to become who I am today, then I believe that seminars will also help shape the future generations. So that's why we put together the Mentorship, Entrepreneurship, and Networking Conference to have key speakers share with us their journey. When they share with us, one thing that happens is that it gives us hope. There are times when you hear a speaker talking and he tells you where he began from, where he started from. Sometimes you see yourself at that same spot, and a voice within tells you, if he has been able to do it, you can also do it. That's the key focus of why we've gathered here today. When we talk about mentorship, entrepreneurship, networking, with the rise of unemployment among the youth, we believe that it will offer a pathway to job creation and economic growth when the youth are encouraged to start their own business. Entrepreneurship empowers the youth to take control of their future and build a more prosperous and suitable society for future generations. However, empowerment is not a one-time affair. It's up to us to cultivate the spirit to develop the greatness within us. After the seminar, we owe it to ourselves to keep developing. So I think, guys, what we came up with was a monthly mentorship seminar, whereby we have monthly mentorship class. We invite speakers to come on board to share their experience. So after the seminar, we still have monthly programs for those interested and those willing to learn more. Because we believe that empowerment shouldn't just be a one-day thing, but a continuous thing. So in conclusion, I want to honor the prayers of all our speakers here and say a big thank you to every one of them for accepting to be part of this program. One of the most important messages that I hope you take away from this conference is the importance of self-discipline, and perseverance in your journey. You need these two things if you want to come out of whatever situation you are in. No matter what you are told or no matter what the speakers say, if you lack the self-discipline to make it a part of you, it will end at nothing. There are times you hear people say they should tell us the shortcut secret and not the law. We know there's a shortcut. No, we are trying to avoid self-discipline. The process they share is what will work for each and every one of us. So whatever is shared with us, let's have the self-discipline to practice it and put it to use. So once again, welcome each and every one of you to this year's Mentorship, Entrepreneurship, and Networking Conference 2024.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity to network and to learn. Well, can we clap for him again? So, Brian Herbert once said, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. At the end of today, we hear a lot of things, we get a lot of things. But to apply what we have heard today depends on you and I. And it's my prayer that we would not leave here just clapping and excited, but we'll leave here with one or two takes from the speakers. Our next speaker, I told you I come talk about relationship, right? How to manage relationship. Yay, you're excited. Mama Kathy is in the house. Mama Kathy is in the house and she'll take us through how to balance our ambitious work life and then our love life. Mama Kathy is the founding president of Family Renaissance International, formerly Women in the Gap International, which has been in existence for almost 21 years. Family Renaissance International's vision is to restore the God-intended dignity to the family for enhanced church and national development. Mama McCarthy is a fiery preacher of the gospel of Christ. She is also a family life consultant, a best-selling author, an executive life coach, a certified psychologist for personal development, and a certified publisher. She is the author of 3 books, The Secrets to Surviving Your Early Years of Marriage, The Family in National Development, and Emotions and Love Life, all online. In addition, Mama Kathy also runs a few outreach programs, the Student Healthy Sexuality Program for youth in the basic and high schools, Before You Say I Do for the About to Marry, Thriving Together cohort for the married couples. Mama McCarthy is a leading expert on relationships, marriage, family, parenting, and personal development issues. She is a highly sought after television and radio resource person for family and marriage matters. She is the host of Families Together TV and Time with Mama McCarthy on YouTube TV. Mama Kati was born and raised in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. She has been living in Ghana for the past 22 years. She's happily married to her husband, Professor Emmanuel, for over 30 years, and together they are blessed with four wonderful adult children. You can follow Mama Kati on the following. Why are you laughing? Oh, I didn't mention it. I don't want to cause any problem. Omakati is how we call her. Everybody call her Omakati. Case closed. Please help me welcome Omakati. Yes, let's welcome her. Stay.
Did they just compose song here? Please take your seat. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Really? Really? I think we should be dancing. Oh, thank you so much. Such a wonderful, wonderful reception. I truly appreciate all of you. And all protocols duly observed. I'm saying some very powerful personalities here. I feel humbled and I feel privileged. I've sat down at least a couple of minutes since I came, and by reference to what had been done, I think I have gotten a grip of what happened in my absence, and I'm enjoying what happened. For those of you who didn't pay any peso, and it's free, please put your hands together to the organizers of this program. Make it louder so that next time they won't bore you. Okay, thank you very much once again. I truly appreciate being here. I've learned a lot. I wish I came with my older children, because the knowledge that has been shared here is truly, truly, truly very valuable. Okay, so I'm coming to you people love life. The younger people love relationship. All this talk they are talking. Some of them are even eyeing some people here. Yeah, and they will call it networking. Continue to network. Yeah, eyeing people. You collect the telephone number because you think, I'll be calling you with regards to your business. Meanwhile, you're eyeing like Moses Bliss has eyed some Ghana girl and they are wedding. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so let's get straight into what we have for the day. Interestingly, I have never been here. And yesterday I made my PA put a call across and I asked, do they project? But it wasn't too certain. So that's why I didn't come with any projection. But I believe that you have your pen and paper and you can take down points. And I will please plead with the technical crew, if you can just highlight the points that I make and put them on the screen, it will be very appreciated, truly appreciated. I've been asked to speak on a double-barrel topic: how to balance a relationship as an ambitious person, and how to build a relationship as an ambitious person, and how to balance love life with ambitions. Powerful. Love. How many of us who sit here believe that we have a heart? We have a heart. Let me see your hands. You have a body organ called the heart. Okay. How many of you have ever had a relationship? You've ever had a broken relationship before? Be sincere. If you have ever had a broken relationship, you are liars. So, how many people's heart has ever been broken? And so when you lifted your hands the first time, I was surprised, because some of you seated here, all of what has been said, you are sitting with kidney and lungs. The heart are gone. But today, the reason I'm standing here is that somehow, by hook or by crook, we must bring their hearts back. Because we need that heart to be able to push through all of what God has blessed us with in form of information today. Ambitious person. We're looking at an ambitious person. An ambitious person is a person with a drive, a person who is determined to succeed, a person whose goal is superior literally to every other thing. A person who knows that I may be at point A, but my ultimate aim is to get to point Z. A person that would defy all odds, like I came in and I heard, how do you go in? The gatekeepers are blocking the way. And you devise every opportunity, devise method of breaking through the ceiling walls or whatever they are that are obstructions to go get what you want. I believe that every young person who is seated here, even the middle-aged people who are seated here, knowing where we are in the world, I believe that every one of you is determined to say, my parents may not have gotten to that level, but I'll break the ceiling. I am persuaded about that. You know, you don't really need somebody to become all you want to become. You need God. Because where a man cannot give you access, there is a God that can suspend protocol to give you access. Am I communicating here? We all did not get to where we are. Some of us are beneficiaries of grace, and that grace is still activated. And so I'm starting this relationship aspect of this program on the basis that it doesn't matter how you look today. You may wear Chaliwate, but you may be the next president of Ghana tomorrow. And am I communicating at all? Yes, it's relationship. And I want you to know that the person that looks so excellent, so polished, so well blessed, so surrounded by help and support, may even be working for you tomorrow. But we need to balance relationship. How do you build relationship as an ambitious person? And let me probably put this caveat. Because most times ladies, you know, the doctor said something. He said he wanted more women to speak up, but they didn't speak up. Most times some women, not in this hall, feel that they must parasite on men to become everything God had said. Let me tell you something. It's an error that will make you think a man other than your husband is superior to you. Let me repeat what I said. So whatever capabilities a male gender possesses, you possess the same. But in the context of marriage, it's only when the hierarchy and the structure brings you in submission to the man you marry. But then, as a young girl, don't think that you need a man to bail you out. I think several men need you to bail them out without putting your bed on the back or your back on the bed. So let me get that out of the way. Every potential a man has, every young woman has that. Okay, so we have young people in this house. I have been married this year 32 years. And blessed with 4 adult children. The first one 31 this year, the last one 24. Excuse me? Okay. But you see, so I'm going to speak to mostly the younger generation as though I was speaking to mine. Relationship. Most of your parents will wish they could have heard what I'm coming to say to you. Don't repeat the cycle. It's good to be ambitious. It's good to have a drive. It's good to be successful. It's good to know what you want and go for it. But it's best to ascertain where you came from, because building relationship without a hindsight of where you were produced from can make you a success story, but truly a pain to yourself at the time of retirement. Take note of what I'm going to say. I'll give you 7 points you look for in building relationship. I believe in success, but I believe most that a certain age comes, you shouldn't be having nightmares. You shouldn't be wishing, I wish I led my life differently. I wish I didn't make certain decisions and choices. So when you're talking of building a relationship as an ambitious person, the first place to start from is identity. For if you do not know who you are, every other person will define you. And when others define you, you'll pick somebody that you should not have picked on the journey of your life. Because you think that they had done you a favor. But nobody does any other person a favor. You only do favor to a person who hasn't understood his or herself. So identity. The question I'm asking is, who are you? If I were to ask that question now, I will ask you, who are you? Try and answer that question. A man will say, I'm an engineer. I'm a politician, I'm a doctor. A woman will say, I'm an architect. No, women will rarely say that. Women will say, I'm somebody's wife, somebody's mother. We are always relationship oriented. Men are achievers, so they define themselves and describe themselves by their successes. Okay. So it's identity, your own essence, what makes you you. Because most of us, mostly from the African descent, when we're talking about relationship, it's because we want to jump from an uncomfortable place to a place we think will have comfort. Because most of us came from backgrounds where our parents did not affirm us. They did not validate us. They did not celebrate us. It was only when you made mistakes that they magnified the mistakes. The successes you made, they didn't talk about it, or they passingly mentioned. Because it's just a natural thing. So an ambitious person must be a person going forward who will learn how do I put it now? Who will learn how to change the cycle that produced him or her, so that your children don't repeat the pain you went through from your parents. So your own essence. Mama Kathy is not described by her husband. You heard that he's a professor of economics, one of the most intelligent men on earth. I'm not saying this because he's married to me. No. Even if he were not married to me, it doesn't take their words and all of what he's done. No, he doesn't take it away from him. He's very intelligent. But I'm not lost in his shadow because I equally carry my essence. And it's comfortable. So, who interrupted me? I love you. Okay, so your essence, your identity, what makes you you? Have you come to that? You are ambitious. And the next question I'll ask is, why are you ambitious? Because some of us are ambitious just to prove a point. You don't have anybody to prove a point to. Your ambition should be that you are settled in who you are, in who you will become, and in who God has made you to be, and that you are not proving any point. For those who are Christians, there is a book in the Bible named after a woman. That book is called the Book of Esther. Esther had opportunity to prove a point, but he chose not to prove a point. And so when they went through 12 months of purification, and the time was, up for them to meet the king, so he makes his choice. Probably not less than 300 women. And they asked him, hey, what would you like to put on? Because whatever you choose will be given to you. He said, no, whatever you tell me is what I'll go with. That is a woman who's discovered herself. In this era of wanting to put cement upon cement in the face, and wearing clothes things that were supposed to be hidden are now for public consumption. It's like life is a competition of who will outdo who. And men are using effort and achievement to suppress, oppress, and depress women. You must not be a part of that system. Am I communicating? I am speaking to a generation that when you understand relationship, you are getting into it not because you want to prove a point, but because you have something to add to the national cake that everybody's supposed to share from. And so how to be, number one, how to build a relationship as an ambitious person. Remember, I said ambitious person is a person who shows strong desire and determination to succeed. So the number one secret to building a good relationship as an ambitious person, consider the long run and what will allow for your peace in your later days. I couldn't have started anywhere else. Never enter into relationship based on where you are. Write it in capital letters. Never choose anybody, but build any relationship based on who you are. Before you think of relationship, consider 30 years ahead. Is this the kind of person that can journey with me into my future? And if you are ambitious, you can't just go and pick anybody, because if an ambitious person picks a non-ambitious person, you will never succeed. The person will drain you. I hope I'm communicating. Please pay particular attention, because I wish 36 years ago when I entered that relationship, I courted 4 years before I married. Somebody had told me this. So if you're an ambitious person, most people are limited by what they see now. When I look at my life and I drive on the road and I see elderly people beg for bread, I'm wondering, what did they do with the morning season of their lives and the afternoon? Because life is divided into 3 seasons: the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. What do you make happen in your morning, which is the time your parents push you to go to school? Or you can take the initiative, if there are no parents, to at least educate yourself. The afternoon season is when you start to work, begin to build a life, begin to raise money, begin to put things in place. The evening is when you retire. Most of your friends would have died at that season, and then you are retiring to deal with what you did in your morning and in your evening. If you were wicked to your spouse in your afternoon season, in the evening you won't find the person. I'm telling you to. But I love you more than them because you voiced out your concern. Okay, so first of all, consider the long run. And remember, if you're ambitious, I repeat, don't pick somebody who is not ambitious. And that takes us to the second point. Number 2, build friendship first to a certain character and drive. Build friendship first to a certain character and drive. Charisma may make you the CEO, MD, and all of that, where you bask in the euphoria of who you are in those places that your charisma has taken you to and your effort and hard work has taken you to. But it's actually, character that will sustain you wherever life has lifted you to. So build friendship. I tell people in this generation, in my time, there wasn't anything called dating. It was you see a person, the person comes to you and proposes. And then you, for those of us who are Christians, say, let us go and pray. Whether you prayed or not, nobody will question you. You just, at least to fulfill all righteousness, me too, I'm going to pray. Then when the person compels you too much, then you come and say, oh, not you. After you've done comparative analysis and discovered that this one, no hope. This one, hope. Then you do this one. But for you, build friendship. Friendship is a time where you don't engage in this thing called sex. Sex is a blinder. Once you give yourself to somebody, most especially the female gender, you feel you've given so much. So breaking takes something from you. I know that in your generation where everything is sexualized, you think that relationship is about sex. Go and ask your parents when last they had good sex. Go and ask them. When last they had a very beautiful consummation sexually. This thing that when your body touch another chemistry, you come into the marriage. Body touch body is like firewood. Oh, only allow me to sleep. Don't use sex because sex is a blinder. Build friendship. Discover character. Do research. Don't only research to push yourself to the height you want to get to. No, don't only research just because you want to be the best in your field. Research because you want to know. We are a byproduct of the places we were produced from. Who we are is as a result of the wiring, the engineering of the people that raised us. Some of us were abandoned as children, and so we have a kind of dismissive character. We don't want anybody too much in our spaces because we grew up not having anybody in our space. And so if you push too hard, I'll leave you. There are some of us that are very anxious and clingy because nobody was there. You couldn't really be sure whether your parents were going to be available the next minute. So anytime you are in a relationship, you want to cling to that relationship because you don't want that relationship to leave you like there are any caregivers left you. Build friendship. Find out the character. There are people that are excellent at work, but they do not have any character. They cannot say thank you. They cannot say I am sorry. They cannot say please. They cannot support you. They have some very, very indescribable character that you don't want, nauseating. There are people that come from a home where insult is the order of the day. And so when you see the person handsome, polished, beautiful, packaged, front and back balanced, there is a difference between content and container. So as an ambitious person, Slow down and find out the content. Nobody buys Coca-Cola because of the bottle. You buy because of the drink inside. Then you may not be able to determine the drink until you've taken time and go buy it. Nobody gets to a shop and you prove something and they let me test first. Have you seen where somebody tests something in somebody's shop? Even product have VAT, value added tax, and you yourself, you're allowing people to just come in and go like that. Why? Why? So build friendship. Slow down, build friendship. Discover talent, discover abilities, discover attitude, discover their behavior, discover all what you need to discover. Because at the end of the day, when the wedding is over, you are going to go back to the person you picked. And I know that somebody will say, if it doesn't work, I divorce. It's good enough. No, God loves divorcees. He only hates divorce because children who are tortured in a divorce situation become traumatic. Because the way God created humanity, fishes survive in water, birds survive in the air. Human beings survive in the atmosphere of love provided by a father and a mother. When that dynamics doesn't work or is not put in place, something in you leaves you. So you are the generation that will succeed to give Africa a place in the committee of nations. But I believe that Africa should also be blessed by you, restoring the glory of families back to the families. Because without the family, there is no society. When I drive and I see some young people, fatherless children, my heart bleeds because a time will come out of their frustration. They will take gun and be gunning people down because a person who is wounded will wound other people. So when people sleep around and produce children they don't take responsibility for, my heart bleeds. Nobody wants to be left behind. In a generation, things are escalating. Inflation is astronomical. And you are leaving some people to fend for themselves. Build relationship carefully. Build friendship. Friendship devoid of sex. See, when I tell people, come on, I'm telling you young people, see, sex is not a determinant of good marriage. Some of you will learn, you have had experience with 10. So by the time you enter bed, you can even be sleeping with your husband and be saying, oh, Kojo, you are wonderful. Meanwhile, your husband is Kwame because you are remember. Don't do that. Oh. And some of you will be sleeping with Rita and be saying, oh, Eugenia. And then they call you Eugenia. I'm not. He said, hey, I never slept. You are too good because may God deliver. Number 3, look for a partner with drive to avoid the crap mentality. Look for a partner with a drive. Interrogate your partner. What is your vision? In the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, where do you hope to be? And let me pause for a while and talk to women. Because we come from a patriarchal society. Africa is patriarchal. That means men have supremacy by whatever reason we do not know. There are men that are intimidated by women aspiring to become their best. Make sure that as an ambitious person, an ambitious woman that you are, test the waters. If I become the woman who has a job with the United Nations and I have consultancy and I have this and I have to fly and I have to be here, I have to be here in a certain season of my life, or if my friend were to have such, use an analogy, how will you feel about it? You'll hear some people say, not my wife. I marry you to take care of my children. If I were that your friend, I would tell the wife to sit down. That should tell you, run. Don't go. It's error, run. Because what you don't deal with now in your selection process will deal with you after the selection process. And so, look for a partner with a drive. There are some people that they do not want you to see you get past them. A drive means, as I'm standing here, I'm not afraid to tell you that in just a few years, I call it months now, I'll be 60 years. And I'm doing programs. I want to do, there's a PhD I want to do. I'm a preacher, but I want to get into certain circles. And I'm married to a man who's comfortable with that. A man can also be a person with a drive. And you know that we operate in seasons. Ambitious person understand the power of seasons. Understand that power. Because in relationship and ultimately marriage, a season can come that the man is flying everywhere. You shouldn't be saying every time you leave me and then you use emotional blackmail. You must be able to know that the person has a drive also, and that there will be encouragement coming from that person towards you. Now, number 4, go for what will stand the test of time with regards to attraction, with regards to appearance, dedication, and strong drive to improve. I go over that. Go for what will stand the test of time. The simplest way to put it is, you see, we are all evolving. If you're 15 now, by 25, you'll be shocked at what God will make you become. At 35, you'll be shocked at what God will make you become. Go for somebody that you have sat together with in building relationship. To know that maybe you are married now and you don't look like you'll be the president's wife. But marry a woman or a man that as you evolve, you don't get ashamed of. Because that brings external drive to get something from outside. So if you're a woman sitting under the sound of all the people that have been speaking since morning, you must understand that you cannot let yourself loose because you have a child or two. And that you are not the kind of woman that after giving birth, you as it was in the beginning, you see it was, your body is like a rumor rock. Or as a man, you do not also allow your tummy to bulge such a way that the woman is, you have to lift your stomach. Sorry, it's not people in this one. I'm just making examples here. Please, I'm begging you. Because the way you are laughing, you may cause problems for me. And I want to be invited next year if Jesus tarries. So, God for what will stand the test of time, but remember the power of nurturing. It may look like, but every person has potential of becoming wonderful. It depends upon the hands it's dropped into. So let the person you go for in building relationship be a person you have engaged over time to know their response to you in wanting to add value to who they become as they evolve. Number 5. Is that 5? I'm giving you 5 now. Build relationship with support, encouragement, and motivation. Build relationship with support. In building relationship, don't be too busy to take on anybody as an ambitious person. Both of you are ambitious here, male and female. You see, we all need support no matter how high-flying we are and no matter how successful we are. In building, relationship as an ambitious person, look for somebody who encourages you, somebody who supports you, somebody who is not intimidated by your success. So from the beginning, it should be, have you eaten today? How was the task you discussed with me about? How did it go? Was the presentation okay? Even if the person says, I think I didn't do too well, let it come from behind. Say, don't worry, next time it will be better. Don't go on with somebody who says, but I told you, every time I tell you, you won't listen to me. What you need at every given time, success or defeat, is somebody who supports and does not demean and does not talk down on you. But these are skills that are developed over time. That means you must also be willing to give time. If your sense is not there, if you're serious about that relationship, give it time to build it. But look for someone who will support you. Life is cumbersome. Life is heavy sometimes. Life is overwhelming. Sometimes, I tell you. So as an ambitious person, look for a support base that will help push you when life becomes overwhelmingly difficult. That is why I said build friendship. Don't be in a hurry. Build friendship. Number 6. Watch against yoking with an opposite drive. Watch against yoking. That means coming into a relationship with somebody with the opposite drive. As an ambitious person, knowing that there are seasons, you can't young with somebody that hears that you got 10,000 Ghana cedis today and tells you, hey, I want to buy for that party is 8,000. Run away. Run away. Go away. Oh. Don't yoke also with a parasitic individual. Building relationships is about being sensitive to things that will tear you tomorrow. There are people that any money that enters their hand from mama year to papa year to uncle year to every year they must enter. And you're an ambitious person and you know that there is a place for accumulation of knowledge and also the place of accumulation of money so that you can push into your next level. And the person is always pulling away. No, don't do that. Even as a lady, don't yoke with any man that is overly dependent on you. You are not meant to be a Messiah to anybody. Only God is Messiah. Only God is Messiah. I have seen young ladies, because I have been in this thing for over 20 years, dealing with individuals, and I can tell you about thousands that have crossed my path. I've seen young ladies that were building, they're ambitious, they are working in good places, they are making money, and then they come into a relationship with somebody who was nothing but a leech. And the person says, I want money to do this. And I have experienced 3 different women who have gone to take loan from their places of work, to give to men to assist them, only for those men to abandon them and not pay back a peswa. See, open your eye. Oh. Shine. You have been at your generation. Shine your eye. Okay. So watch against yoking with anybody with the opposite drive or anybody sent to drain you financially or otherwise. Number 7, sorry. Go for who you truly love, respect, value, treasure, and cannot do without. You like the last one. I know you like it. I knew you were going to like it. Go for somebody you do what? You truly love. Don't marry anybody out of sympathy. How does that happen? It happens for most people. Mentor the younger generation. I tell younger people, I say, life is like a ladder. Where you are seeing now and you think you can't do without this person at this level. Unknown to you, you will climb this next level and your horizon becomes expanded. And then you step up again, and then you step up again. You discover that you've hooked yourself here, not knowing that there are 15 levels. And by the time you get to the 15th level, how you see life is very different. How do you deal with this person down here? So yesterday, in an attempt to prepare for this, I called 2 young people, my staff, and I asked them something. And I interrogated them. And we had a very robust conversation. And I told the young man, one of the young men I called, I said, yes, you're 28. When do you want to marry? Never enter. No, he said, people are asking him why he doesn't have a girlfriend at his age, why he's not doing ABC. And he said he's not prepared. And I told him, nobody will call you and give you an award for being in a relationship. CNN doesn't give award for people in relationship. Have you ever seen some? BBC, even GTV, do they give award? Don't be in a hurry to get into a relationship. Allow God take you to a certain level. So that by the time you make the choice, you are making an informed choice. There are married people who wish they could donate their spouses free of charge, don't refund anything. They wish, they don't tell you, but they are wishing they could have donated and they ask no refunds. They just carry them like that, take them. And you, the unmarried, you are just blindly, I'm in love, I'm in love. You see red, you say it's green, it's only your eye is blurred. Because unmarried people, when they see red light, it's green. Everything you tell them enters here. It goes out here. They are in love. And all of what you've listened to today, everything you've listened to, can be sabotaged by that one wrong person entering your life. Everything you learn here, you can end up, God forbid, committing suicide at 60, 65 because of who you took on. There are people who have been very ambitious and have built wealth, they've built empires, and just one divorce case brings you down. Don't be blind. Now, on the next part before we close, balancing, because you said, how do you build? I've given you 7 points. How do you balance love life as an ambitious person? I'll leave you with 1 point in order not to bore you. And that will benefit those of us who are even married. Balancing love life as an ambitious person. Knowing that being ambitious requires extra effort, extra time, investment that others don't make, sleepless nights, researches, networking. It requires a lot. People don't just become overnight. It takes a lot of work to make a name. How do you balance love life? Knowing that the two of you, because now you've chosen based on a person who equally has a drive, the two of you are busy. And I hear it often. He doesn't call me. He doesn't make time for me. She's not even available. You call, he doesn't pick, or she doesn't pick the call, and all of that. It's not because some people don't want to pick, but sometimes life becomes overwhelming because of targets you have set, because of goals and timelines. The way to balance love life as an ambitious person is to be open to communication. Without communication, you can't balance love life as an ambitious person. It is through communication you will agree on the timing, which could be, I know that two of us are very busy. Or I know that in this season, I'm not as busy as you are, and that's why you're making the excuses. But you know what? You can come over for lunch. We'll talk over the lunch. You can meet me somewhere here. Communicating and knowing that we should not allow love life to degenerate into nothing because you are driving. What sustains society is not your ambition. What sustains society is the strength of the family. Because the family is the churning point. It's that factory that churns out people from generation to generation. And you don't want to be successful at the end of the day. You have children and you hadn't built discipline to know that there is time for everything, to give time, quality time to your children. So from the beginning, you balance it by communicating. Communicating is ability to express yourself, your aspirations, your likes, your goals, your dislikes, your fears, all of those things. Communication is not giving information. And most people don't understand that. And it cripples marriages. For those of you who have not, communication is ability to relate heart to heart. That I am comfortable to be vulnerable to you and that I will not fear anything. So building and balancing relationship as an ambitious person requires that you must first of all undergo a purging, because your programming may not have given you room to be a good communicator. And most especially for men are afraid of talking. When you hear in marriages, most of the problems, as a counselor, I'll say this firsthand, most men don't listen, don't talk. And so you hear wives say, if only he can talk. And that is the wiring that must change. Because you see, I always tell people, and I go back to the beginning because I'm wrapping up now. At the end of the day, the world may remember you as somebody who effected change in certain circles and spheres of the society. But at the graveyard, you could either be a pain or a joy to your family. So balancing love life is ability to communicate well. Number 2, I will add an addendum. Let us also value transparency and honest conversations. Transparency. That you can make somebody comfortable to talk. And I beg of you, as you are listening and you're going to implement all of what you've heard today, you are going to implement. I don't want to believe that anybody who has sat under all of these facilitations today will go back and be struggling in 2024. I pray that the Lord connects you to people that will help facilitate the process to your next level. That's my prayer for you. But you know that next level is coming with an additional desire to pick somebody along and also build a family. Love life should not sabotage your dreams. Neither should your dreams sabotage your love life. Build. Just as you do, people are employed, they do refresher courses. They do on-the-job training. All of this is just to make them sellable at the places they work. When you're married, ask the married people, when last did they attend marriage retreats? Learn from them. Some of them are sleeping in the offices. Because the home, they have caused so much damage. There are some tiger and tigresses are waiting. Don't be that kind of a person. Make sure that you make the people around you, whoever you are going to take on, let them also feel that they are not left with crumbs all the days of their lives. Relationship is a beautiful thing. As we retire, we want to retire. You marry to retire to a place where you sit on a coffee table in front of your garden and reminisce over everything life had been to you. Build your love life. Invest time. Find out where it can be beneficial for you to upgrade. And I end with this story, one of the several. I once had a person want to come and do premarital with me. I take people through premarital, postmarital. And a gentleman was referred to me, who is about 6'4", a banker, getting married to a banker. And for the first time in all of my practice, I was in my subconscious thinking the man was a ghost. This man walked in tall. He didn't say a word. Sized me from head to toe. Finished sizing me, gave me marks. And he didn't say a word. All of this visualizing. And I engage. Sometimes I think Honorable Mubara said something. Sometimes by a gift, sometimes just a smile, sometimes compliment. You can never know which one will open the door for conversations to take off. It's called wisdom. Different people, are attracted and turned on by different things, whether at workplaces or anywhere else. So I did everything I knew to do. I'm a person with a sense of humor. And the man was still like this. So I got afraid. Sincerely, I got afraid of the woman. And I began to wonder whether this woman has gone to check with this guy, because I have heard that they are ghosts walking like human beings. So I am saying this before God. I felt within me, this man was one of the ghosts that has come to marry a human being. Because a human being couldn't behave like this. At the end of the day, I discovered when we started the sessions, this man is my paddy now. Why did I share this story? The family he was born into had formed him into a personality that was not attractive, that was not desirable, because communication was zero. And I did certain quizzes that exposed him. And he said, this is me. And now told me the story of his life and his parents and all of that. You know what? This is how I end. Everyone seated here has a certain facade that they project outside. It's only relationship and marriage that unveils the true person. Don't marry anybody's facade. Look for help so that when you are building your ambitious career, you will not destroy that career by picking up somebody that will sabotage it. Where did the person come from? There are some men here. Their fathers never were romantic to their mothers. So they are very wonderful to everybody outside. Unto you who married them, when you think romance, they are saying, it's something else. Not the men in this hall, I'm sorry, the ones outside. I just forgot, I'm sorry. So they are good, they are achievers, they are driven, they are all that. But the love language of a woman is affection. So in building relationship as a career person, look for somebody who, even if he doesn't have what you want, he'll be open to receiving that thing. Because marriages are destroyed by inability for two people who are finally married sitting down to connect emotionally. Marriage is built by emotion and emotional connection, not by grammar, not by empirical studies, not by any of the data analysis, not by promotion at work. When we come home and the man removes his clothes and wears boxer, you should be able to come to the kitchen and touch your butt and say, baby, I missed you through the day. Come on. And you should have a woman. Oh, yeah. And you should have a woman that knows that life can buffet you. And that before you come back, it's not to wear a long face. As an ambitious person already fighting lions outside, you are coming back to fight the leopard whose chest is as long as this. And he doesn't know how to pull your hand back and put it down and say, baby, sit down here. I do some massage for you.
Darling.
So, ambitious people, no matter how ambitious you are, male or female, there's a time to relax. There's a time to have a shoulder to lean on. There's a time to have a laps to put your head on. So that we reduce the number of illicit children by baby mamas and papa mamas. I said that to confuse you because that is not the nomenclature we should carry on. So building and balancing is important. In order that after you've succeeded in all you succeeded at, when the time comes for you to recline and come back home, you'll come back to a friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Kathy. We will take some questions from Mama Kathy. So 3 hands up. Okay, we see only one person. One. Please let's calm down. Hands up clearly so I can see. Okay. So 3. The gentleman over there, the lady, and then.
Thank you very much. I must confess, I really love how outspoken you are, Mama Kathy. Mama Kathy, you mentioned something that I really appreciate. You said love life shouldn't sabotage your dream, and your dream shouldn't sabotage your love life. I must confess that one of the many advices I've received is be careful of women. Be careful of women. And I know my mom would say, I know you, Ni, I know how ambitious you are, but be careful of this relationship matters, because if you do not pay much detail to it, it may make and unmake you. Just recently, that is last week Wednesday, my HOD of University of Ghana Theatre Department invited me over after I informed him about my intention of running for SLC president at the University of Ghana. We had a lengthy conversation. And then when I was about to leave, one of the advisors, do you have a girlfriend? I said, oh, doc, it's been 3 years now. I said, good. Yeah, at the University of Ghana, if you are in a relationship and you are contesting for such a position, if you don't take care, it can bring you a whole lot of problem. And right now, too, you are making me believe that when you are in a relationship, it can play a pivotal role in your life as an ambitious person. And I'm going to ask, so how can I get a lady, or how can I get into a relationship with someone without me looking like I want someone who wants to support my ambition, or to sound like it's all about me or it's all about my ambition? Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Can you rephrase the last sentence? Because that was a summary to the question.
I'll rephrase the last question is, how can I get a relationship or move someone into a relationship without sounding so opportunist, like I want to support my ambition, because like you said, you need someone who can support your ambition, not just anyone who bring you wahala, if I'm to put it out. Thank you very much.
There is no tea black white.
Please, thank you for the opportunity. Please, I would like to ask to confirm something about relationship life. So please, if let's say your partner, you've seen someone that you like, the person possesses some of their qualities, the things that you look out for, like what you said, the person possesses everything. But then you also want someone who has gotten to a particular standard. The person has certain qualifications and all that. But you have, let's say, 70% of what you want, but that person does not have that aspect. But the person is still trying to get there. But you're not seeing, because you don't understand the question. So please, my question then, if you have 70% of what you look out for, but you're not getting the 30%, you're not getting 100%, but then there's just particular key points that you need and you're not getting, do you still have to move forward to go for that person?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. Can we put our hands together for these people who have the courage to ask their questions? Thank you so much. Okay, so the first question. The gentleman is going SRC president, if I'm correct. And he's been encouraged. Okay, not encouraged. He doesn't have a girlfriend now. If he were to have, and I'm talking about support in relationship, so that the relationship will not be sabotaged by that relationship that is not supportive. Let me answer the question the way I understand it. You are not thinking of relationship because of your desire to get into politics, even at the tertiary level. Never use your support to look for a woman who immediately she comes in will be supportive. You should have understood probably. Okay, let me remind you. I said build friendship. When a person comes into your life, during the period of friendship, you will be able to ascertain what the qualities the person is coming in with. So if you are now approaching a woman and you expect that you are going to contest for this election next month, and so the woman should begin to carry handbills for you, it's a very wrong mindset. Because those things don't happen automatically. But in the process of friendship, you will discover these giftings and qualities. And if they are not there, you will not be able to speak up, to make a decision, speak up, to encourage the person to support you because that's what you want. But ultimately, you can meet somebody just now and you know how supportive the person is. You can also meet some people and you will understand. But I will encourage you to look out for many more values, and within the context of all of these values, see the support coming from the person. The person may not support you, but has other qualities that are equally good. And those qualities that attracted the person to you, which may not have included support at the beginning, could now trigger your desire to say, baby, I would have loved that you do ABC, and then hear her response. Am I communicating? Do you understand me? So basically, in summary, what I'm saying is, support may be buried within other qualities. And now those qualities speak up and then project the need that is either there or not there for you to also look out for. But push yourself first, because asking somebody to support a person who is not even supporting himself is very difficult. So first of all, support yourself. Drive yourself, go for your goals, and see how this person supports you. And that goes to every other person here. Don't wait for somebody who will come and wake you up in the morning, go and do that, and then you think that is support. When you don't even have the initiatives yourself, and you are looking for somebody who will come and down, be monitoring your life into productivity. It doesn't work like that. I should support a drive that I am attracted to, but I should not initiate a drive that is not even in you. The second question, the man has 70, or the person has 70% of what I'm looking for. May I announce to you that by no means am I saying you'll meet a perfect person, because you are not perfect. We are all work in progress. So, but the bottom line is, watch out for what the intrinsic value that will allow for peace. So if the man has 70%, how did you even arrive at 70%? What constitutes the 70% is very important. Let me repeat what I just said. What constitutes the 70% still needs to be assessed. So it brings us back to what the other speakers have said. Get a mentor. Get a relationship mentor who will help you in appraising what you think you are looking for. Because some of us are looking for what we are looking for because of where we are coming from. And where we are coming from, not it have been holistic enough to be a parameter for using, for judgment. Okay? If I come from a dysfunctional hand, what I'm looking for maybe something to magnify or empower the dysfunction. It is only a person who knows better and has a 24 view, a kind of 2020 view, that will be able to say, no, drop this, drop that, drop that. And I want to encourage us here, ambitious people, please, in all of your getting, get a sound relationship person to help you. I'm telling you, I sat in my house one day and there was a program going on in one of the major radio stations. It was a show that Mama Lee runs every week. And it was a counseling show, relationship counseling kind of a thing that I also do. And one of the counselors was on set with other counselors, and they were talking about certain relationship issues. And a call came through, and it was an unknown number. I don't know how she got my number. But the wife of one of the counselors who was on set that morning was the one who called. Till tomorrow is still a mystery. I've not met her one-on-one. She said, introduce herself. And she said, my husband is excellent at counseling people on set. He's talking right now. I won't mention the radio station, so you won't put me in trouble. And then it says, he is the opposite of every counsel he gives. My husband sees the young girl in my neighbor's house, sees she this, da, 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 da. See, I am not the talking I'm talking. Don't believe me by my talk. The eloquency and the ability to communicate may not reveal who I am. Ask my husband whether I am correct. Because there is a difference between practicing your skills and living your skills. So when I say look for a sound, do a serious comparative analysis of do research. And then look for people, pay for whatever to do courses that will upgrade and enhance them professionally. But it's very difficult for people to engage people who are sound, to take them through the engineering processes of correcting the lapses that were wired in them from childhood. We are who we were wired to become. Every child comes, like doctors say, you see there was a glass on the projection on the wall. We come empty. Is the place that we were dropped that has dropped a lot of things, and relationship reveals who we are. That's why you hear people at work, my boss is very wonderful, my boss is excellent, my boss, my boss. Then you meet the wife or the husband, they say it's not correct too. Or you meet the children, it's not correct. Not many people can balance who they are outside and who they are inside. My prayer is that as an ambitious young man or woman, you will be who your children and your spouse will say you are correct. Because some are not correct. So 70% is a high-ranking mark in any destiny. That's B+. And then you ask yourself, are you B+ or C+? When you answer that question, you can get to the next step. The baby girl, please still give opportunity to the person and then begin a counseling process or get some sessions to do a lot more therapeutically to reveal who the person is and who you are, so that we know whether there's compatibility and it will allow for peace tomorrow. Thank you.
Wow. What's an insightful section? Oh, I can see you now. Hold on, no.
We call it.
Okay, so please, my question. Sorry, my name is Muhiba. Muhiba, yes. My question is, in our quest to balance, strike a balance between ambition and our love life. It's imperative that to reiterate, he said we shouldn't be who joke as or as so kind of wire us and sort of demand a lot from us. But I believe, and I've seen in my community growing up, there were people who would always be like, I want to be in that position where I'll always need to provide for the kind of person I am. But in my community, there used to be this woman, every day the guy, like, they were always beaten. But yet they were still being in a relationship, be providing, going for loans and all that. Some died.
Yourself,
They were always provided for their men.
their men.
Yes. And so in such a cynical relationship, how does a person, come out of such an unhealthy relationship?
What makes it unhealthy?
It means unhealthy because though it wasn't neutral, she was always providing. Not one, not twice. One lady died, I think back in Christia, and then the other one too, always she was bruised, but because she said she never died, so always she was going for loans to support him. The man wasn't working, and then she was still inside that relationship, but I left that area, so I don't know about her now. So as an advice to one of us for the last time, could you say something about this? Those who are people can speak out actually. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful question. Thank you so much. If I understood and heard you clearly, what you meant was that there were some people in your neighborhood as at that time that were in relationships that was taking so much from them, but no reciprocity of what they were doing. And in this case, they were the women taking care of their men. And there was no desire for these men to also do something. So what do you do in such situation? You see, it's important and imperative that we realize one thing. Sometimes we blame people, but sincerely speaking, environment changes and also build people to becoming who they are. So a woman who takes the responsibility of solely providing for her man is coming from an abusive place, where she may have been rejected and abandoned for so long. Now she has somebody who is willing to stay with her. She'll pay whatever price to keep that person, unless you take the person through a journey of recovery and healing emotionally. Because the person would have been in a home. Also, another dynamics is the fact that the woman may have been in a home where the mother was always providing for the father. And because these cycles repeat, somehow you attract where you were birthed from most times, except you do a thorough job of screening and developing yourself and seeing clearly with the eye that is able to correct the dysfunctions. So a woman who does that is from an abusive place or a place where there was abandonment and all that. You can't really talk those people out except you take them through a journey of knowing how things are supposed to be. Because the danger is that what she's doing, one of the children or more will repeat the same cycle. So how do you help people? And there are also men. I know of men who don't lift a finger. There are men who are driven. There are men who are poised to achieve so much. There are men who are, go-getter and all of that. There are also men who are laid back. And if you're to do, what do you call it now, temperament, this thing, they are phlegmatic. If a man is a phlegmatic, even if the house is gutted by fire, he is very peaceful. It's just peaceful. And if you are is wondering where you're coming from, let things be. Let things. You push it. He says, it's okay. They are just like that. So if you notice in relationship, you are drawn to such a man who is phlegmatic, who is drawn back, who does not make initiative, is not pushful and all of that. What you should suggest is for the two of you to meet somebody who can help explain a bit more. That even in your phlegmatic nature, your responsibility as a man is also to take care of the home. And so there must be a balance. It may be contrary to your nature, but you should be able to go against what is comfortable to becoming more than what you know. So in summary, the answer is they need help. They need help. It's not the ones who are providing for their men. It's even okay. The ones that the men are beating like drums and they are still in love. That's the one you wonder, are they correct? Love one thing. How can they be beating you? And let me say this, ambitious men. Do we have ambitious men in the house? Give me a yeah. Do we have ambitious men in the house? Men that will make Africa proud. Men that will make this continent to rise up into from oblivion. Oh my God, can the ladies that support ambitious men put their hands for these ambitious men? Better clap, you don't know who you jam. Okay, but no. Don't leave the responsibility of homekeeping when you marry on your wife. Not the men here. Go and tell the men outside, because the men here, they are responsible. Nothing demeans, nothing wearies. Nothing is more overwhelming than knowing that a man doesn't take the lead in his home. You may have come from a place where you never saw a man. And let me also add this, Mama, let me add this. I was there one day, somebody called me up and said, I got your number from Joy FM. And so the man came over. As at that time, he was 62. I think he's 65 now. And the marriage was crumbling. He had married then 27 years. And the wife was asking for divorce. They are both born-again Christians, for those who are Christians. And so I started the diagnosis and all of that. And I discovered something. I asked him, I don't hear from one side, because everybody will paint the picture the way to suit them. So I needed to hear from the wife also. So we booked a session and I interacted with the wife. And the wife said A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. So I looked at her. I didn't believe her. So I told her, I said, Madam, I don't believe you. But I want you to know that I'll get back to your husband to put across to him these issues you've raised. He said, oh, very, very okay. Well, she was comfortable. So I went back to the husband and I put across the issues the wife raised. And I wanted him to say, no, she's lying. But he didn't say so. He says the truth. Hi. I said, eh? How? One of those things was, he has never given chop money for 27 years. But once in a while, he goes shopping and brings foodstuffs to their house, but he doesn't give chop money. Number two, he has it'll be fire, says you. Because most times when we blame others, people have strength. He may be weak there, but he's strong somewhere. Every one of us, we are weak, different, strong. Then moving on, I ask, he said, you have never bought something for her or given her any money for shopping. Men, ambitious men, no matter how blessed your wife is, your money is very attractive. Ambitious women, no matter how blessed your husband is, your support is undeniably needed. Nothing as having an ambitious woman who commands wealth and then signs a check and hands over to the husband, baby, take this. And a man who does the same. So he said he had never done it. So I now had to go into the background and say, who raised you? Who is your role model as far as the role of a husband is? He said, nobody. My father died when I was 6 years. I moved to Cape Coast, stayed with my uncle. The marriage was very terrible, blah, 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 blah. Then I discovered you can never give somebody what you don't have. As we close this session, let me tell us, it's good to be ambitious. It's good to be a high achiever. If you never had a father who was a better husband than a better father, look for help. I wanted to sing. I repeat, if you didn't have a father who was a better husband than a better father, look for help. Every man should be a better husband, followed by being a better father. When you do that, you role model what it means to be a husband. And if you're a woman here, you didn't have a better wife than a better mother, look for help. Because in all of our getting, we are getting people who are success stories everywhere, winning awards, making strides, but being a pain in the home. So correcting that is not wishful thinking. It requires a lot of dying to self. Because he, as a Honorable Mubarak is seated here, to be a good husband, is either he will train himself to become if the father was not. And to do that, he must be open to a wealth of knowledge on how to become that. You don't become what you don't learn and study and know. Okay? So he can be a fantastic parliamentarian, businessman, and all of that. But it is left for him, if he didn't have a father who modeled how to be a husband, for him now to learn, because the sons will be dependent on him to teach them how to be a husband, because how to be a husband is not a subject in the school. It's not a subject in the school. How to be a wife is not in the curriculum. And what they are introducing into curriculum now is even killing the next generation the more. So the only salvation for family life is in your marriage. Choose right. Take responsibility. Don't sit down there as a parasite looking for somebody to feed you. Do something so that help will be mutual. Support will be mutual. Respect will be mutual. At the end of the day, when we hear that you are the next UN Secretary General, your wife will stand with you on the podium sometimes, or be at home and say, baby, I'm proud of you. Or then when we know that you are the next World Bank executive as a woman, your wife, your husband will not feel that you will rule over them, boss over them, because now you are the into. No. May God help us to be better men and women for the sake of the unborn generation.